Okay, this was posted at a doctor's office. Every election year, we've had a disease. I want you to look at this. 2004, you had the SARS. 2008, the avian. 2010, the swine. 2012, the MERS. You getting the gist of any of this, huh? Are you? I wonder. Okay, let's go back here just a second. Okay. I'm putting this basically up for the a lot of people, Trump followers, or whatever. Now, it's not to distract from the current situation, but let's look at the numbers from the swine flu global pandemic of 2009-2010. There were 700 million, and they were infected worldwide, greater than the 1918 Spanish influenza pandemic. 84 million people were infected in the United States. 300,000 people were hospitalized as a result. CDC estimates the worldwide deaths at 75,400. American deaths, 17,000. Do you remember hearing these numbers? No. It's because the president then was Barack Obama, and the media was going out of its way praising how he was handling the situation. There wasn't a peep of criticism, and there was no Chicken Little panic. Keep in mind, as we watch these events unfold with this latest Wuhan virus crisis, there is enormous political aspects on how the media is handling of this. First, is there hatred of Trump? Second, Democrats are going to run a senile hack as their president candidate who can't remember which state he's in, has verbally assaulted attendees and challenged at least two to a fight. Third is the objective of driving down the stock market, and if possible, driving down the United States into a recession. Now remember, Rahm Emanuel, Obama's right-hand man, who famously said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Okay, enough said for patting old Trump on the back. Here's something I don't like about Trump, and I've seen this, and I kind of caught on to it, but I didn't till this flu thing. When we had the red flags, he suggested, well, maybe we should do something. And he said, well, I'll leave it in you guys' hands. Well, all these states started introducing red flag laws. That way, they don't blame the president. Next thing, well, the governors maybe should clamp down on the states and encourage he was encouraging the governors to clamp down on the states on this your restaurants, and your shutting down the bars and all this other stuff. That way he doesn't get the blame. And if you can't see this, then you're blinder than, I don't know, maybe you weren't born with eyes or brains to think for yourself. I don't know. But it's there. Now you watch how he talks. He never takes the blame on himself. He lets somebody else take the blame for him. That way it doesn't come back, doesn't affect him whatsoever. Okay, now if he wants to influence something, let him influence the doggone Supreme Court. Say, we should get rid of all these gun laws because they are causing commotions and upheaval and uncivil unrest in the United States of America. That way he can get the doggone Supreme Court to finally act, to get off their ass and do something good for America. If Trump wants to go down in history as somebody who's doing something for America, that's where he better start. There's nothing else that he can do that's going to, make me stand up and cheer. Okay, well, I've had my little fuzzy opinion today. Just watch, people. Watch how it's done. You get all the people around you, and they get to talk, and then I'll leave it in your hand, you guys' hands. You do what you want to do. The thing I'm scared about is Trump getting knocked off. FEMA's in charge of martial law. If Trump is gone for some reason or another, they'll just walk all over Pence. They won't go by civil authority. They'll go by their authority, their martial law. Then they can confiscate the firearms. And you guys would be sitting there going, what the hell happened? Trump should not have listened to his advisors and declared this a national emergency. This is not a national emergency any more than a man in the moon. We all had that damn flu back in November. It lasted 2 weeks. We finally got rid of it. Bingo, we're okay. You're always going to have flu and some kind of upheaval. Just don't blow it out of proportion. And, you know, and if he was a good president, why wouldn't he get rid of that damn propaganda law of the National Defense Authorization Act that allows these doggone papers to print fake news, to give the United States people crisis actors? We don't need that in America. This is not a propaganda state like Russia. Okay, I've had my say.